Aum Sri Ram, and welcome back to another episode of My Sai in 100 Years of Sai. Our next guest has been a devoted member of the Sri Sathya Sai Center Hillside since the late 1980s. Over the years, he has served in various roles: Vice Chairman, Chairman, Educational Convener, Bal Vikas Guru, and Seva Convener, always giving of himself in service to Swami and the community. With decades of experience in the organization and the blessing of having seen Swami in his physical form, he brings a wealth of stories, wisdom, and vision for the future. Please join me in welcoming Uncle Morgan. Aum Sai Ram, Uncle
Aum
Morgan.
Sai Ram.
So, Uncle Morgan, let's begin with your journey. How did you first come into Swami's fold?
There was an age with us to find an organization, a spiritual organization. And then one auntie from 48 Gadwell Road, that's next door, she invited the family. She said, "I'm having service, come." We said, okay. We went there. It was on a Thursday. And we had a gentleman there by the name of Peru. And he outlined to us and he said, it's of paramount importance that you be here at 7 and you finish off at 8. So some of them asked him a question, do we have to fast and this and that? He said, no, don't do anything, you just come here. And we went there, and thereafter he said, no, this is going to be a weekly affair. So you all must come every Thursday, you must be here by that time. We said, okay. And after a few visits, he says, look, it's going to be difficult for me to come right from Rawalpindi Road to here, and I've got no transport. I'll have to get somebody to bring me here and take me back. And well, there were a few of us there, and he just pointed out, he says, brother, why don't you take charge? I said, look, I don't know anything about this organization. What do I do? He says, you don't have to know anything. You come on time. We got a format here. We'll do that. They will think the budget. And make sure after 1 hour, close to 1 hour, 8 o'clock, you stop. And that is all, as easy as that. I said, if that is so easy, then I'll do it. Then I continued with that. And after a while, we heard, of course, normally the ladies get the information. Somebody came and told women, they're having a Sai center at the Bidaro temple. Okay. Why don't you join? Then I told these people, all of us, we rather join them. So we came from there to Bidaro temple. And this is where the journey started. And in 1994, I was working at Clover and I was retired, and they used to call me now and again to do some job. When I went there, a fellow phones me and I had to pick it up. He says, who is there? Then I introduced him. He says, oh, okay, how is the Sai service? I believe you are going to Hillside. I said, yeah, man, we are doing this. He says, don't you like to go and see Baba? I said, yeah, but who's going to say no? He says, look, my wife is going to Prashanthi and she's got a group of people. If you'd like to join them, by all means do so. And he gave me the number. He said, you liaise with my wife. So that is how we started. I liaised with her, went to her home and so on. And our trip to Prashanthi started. And when we went to the ashram itself, it was a long hall. There were no beds or anything. The hall was marked. They had compartment like carried on. In other words, each person had a space. We said, hey, what do we do here? And I said, no, this is allocated to you, so on. Then they told us, no, you can buy mattresses or you could hire beds. So we went to the village down there, we hired the beds, we got the mattress, beds were hired, mattress you got to buy it. So we bought that. And in a long, they said this is the family, what you call shed. So we had to sleep down there. And we used to get up in the morning, and each one of us had a torch. You can't switch the light on. You got to open your bag slowly, spot your torch, take whatever you want to do, for your shower and all that. You have to come back quietly. And most of the time, we were there for the beginning, the Suprapatam. You're going to be very early. There was a long queue. They're not going to tell you stop here. They'll carry on. When it's full, they say right. So we used to be there. I was just looking at, my records of that. And most of the time, by 3:30, we were there. We want to go inside. Suprapadam, the Omkar, Suprapadam, and we had to go to all these functions.
Listening to you, you're definitely showing me how spoiled I was, because I just recently went to Prashanthi and I didn't have to go buy a bed and stuff. And I thought, hey, life was hectic because I was sleeping on the floor, but you were on another level.
Yeah.
So definitely that's definitely a rare experience, right? Yeah. What was it like, Uncle Morgan, seeing Bhagawan in human form, like in his physical form? What was that like?
Yeah, and then we used to go sit in the hall, and now out of the group, one will say, hey, Swami took my letter, Swami took my letter. And I had letters, and those days when you're going to Prashanthi, the center people all will give you letters. And I'm sitting with the letters, nowhere near. Right at the tail end, all I could see is Swami,
There's a lot of responsibility on you.
And, within myself, I said, Swami, I'm not going to go back with all these letters. You must take this letter from me. You must. Come on a Thursday, I get the front row. I'm sitting there with a lot of different thoughts, because Swami will come and make a U-turn. You don't know where you stand. Swami, please come and take these letters. And there he comes, my letters, and that was a different moment. And I must tell you, although Swami took my letters, I didn't have a glimpse of his face. It was so powerful, he was blinded, I couldn't see. All I know, he took my letters. I said, Swami, thank you very much. And during that course, one of the days, Swami in his discourse said, you must give up meat eating, alcohol, cigarettes, gambling, and adultery. I said, hey, I just took it lightly. When I came back to the center, there was a request that I become the chairperson. And at that time, what was happening was, they said, office bearers must refrain from all these
vices.
Yeah, 5 sins. Then I said, Swami, how am I going to do all this? You're going to make it happen, and I am determined. I will take the first step. So I took the first step, and next thing I don't know what happened. All this just vanished overnight. I said, then I felt happy. I will be the chairperson. I took over the chairperson. That was 1994.
So Swami definitely had his plans for you, even without you even knowing it. He already set you up. Uncle Morgan, you've been part of Hillside for many decades. So looking ahead, what would you say is your vision for this center for the next 100 years?
First thing I'm going to tell you, I won't be here for the next 100 years.
I don't know, I think I have hopes for myself.
The vision I have is looking at the present status or the caliber of the office bearers and the young adults. I am so confident that this center is going to grow and grow and grow from strength to strength, and is going to go up to a very high level. I have this confidence because I look at the young youth, the way their behavior, the welcoming of the people. They don't discard like old fella like me on one side. All of us are at one level. That makes you feel very comfortable. And I think, and I'm positive that this center is going to go up and up.
I think it's, speaking on behalf of the youth, I think it's only possible with the wisdom and encouragement that we get from our elders, especially our elders like you. That helps us. I think that motivates us, if I'm speaking on behalf of them. Uncle Morgan, having seen the Sai organization from its early days, right? How would you say the Sai organization, if it has, how would you say it's evolved over the years?
Well, you'll find most of the people that have joined the Sai organization, after a while, when you talk to them, they say, look, we are better people. Sai actually works on you, It sends you down. It brings you to a level that it takes away the ego and the pride that we have. And Swami gives you the 6 enemies. Desire, anger, greed, attachment, pride, envy. If you get all of this, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. If you can get rid of this, then you are on the spiritual path. These are our enemies. They are obstacles. They keep you away from God. If you get rid of this out of your path, then you can reach Swami.
I definitely think your words echo the theme for this year, from I to we to he.
Yes.
So giving up that I, that ego, leads to us coming together, to the we aspect of us coming together as one Sai family, leading to Swami. I mean, without interacting with our fellow Sai devotees, we can only achieve so much, right?
Yes.
But together, we can lead to Swami. It leads us to Swami. Uncle Morgan, as we look towards the future, how can we ensure that new spiritual seekers on this journey remain engaged and inspired?
All right, looking at that, if you get a child, if you give it sweets, it loves it. It'll come back for more sweets. Like that, the people are here, we must make them more comfortable, accommodate them, and involve them, give them responsibilities so they become part of it. And the youngsters, they like responsibilities as well. When you give them some seva, they will do it. This is the way we got to bring them into the fold and show them Swami's path. This is how you got to do things, Simple things like how you wave towards your elders, your parents, and so on. When you look at the poors, and in fact, what will happen is they will like to do seva, and especially with the poors. You tell them, take this, don't give that,
You definitely echo that quote. I think it goes, you can take the horse to the water.
Yeah, you can't.
But can you make it drink?
No.
So I think also seva and leadership should also be about you also engaging, right? Would you say that?
Yes.
Uncle Morgan, in your view, right, as a senior, how do we carry the flame of Swami's teachings into our homes, our workplaces, and our communities?
It is very difficult, but it can be done. Nothing, What we got to do is, our neighbors, our friends, talk to them about Swami. Tell them, look at these children here. They are Sai children. Look how they behave, and look at the others. And they will say, they also like their children to be on the right path. Copy the other one. To speak the truth. Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. These values you got, even at work, the way you behave. Other people might say, hey, look at this fellow, man. How he is performing. Look at the others. They just wait for the time. Soon as the bell goes, they're gone. They don't even clean the tables. You know? Like we're at our work now, simple thing. You know, before we leave the office must be neat. Everything must be packed off. You know? Like that now, this is what we must try and do. And they will tell their children and encourage them. Say, look here, we need some hands. Just come, just to carry this parcel, put it on the truck or something. Send the children. When the children come here, that's the bait now. So you engage with them, come for the other activities, you know. That's the only way we can't go home to home and say, look, do this thing. And these children will help to spread the message of Sai.
Definitely what you say echoes I think it was the theme from the CLC back in 2023. It was practice and inspire. So, I mean, putting into practice Sai ideals is you echoing that. Uncle Morgan, I have to ask, right, about a very special moment in 2019. During the birthday offering, Swami's divine footprint appeared in Vibhuti. If Swami were to physically walk into a center today, how do you think we as devotees today should respond? What should our presence and reaction be like in that moment?
Well, when Swami walks in here, there will be joy. Some people will cry when they see Swami here. Some people want to go and grab him, thing like that. But what we should remain silent, draw the energy from Swami. Just be silent and concentrate on Swami. That was what I would say. But it's not a thing that can happen. Other people will just rush. But I think we must, the way we train ourselves now, even what we must do, as you pose this question, we must make it on one of our talks. How are you going to be? Then we will be prepared. You know, we will observe silence and draw the energy from there.
You definitely gave me an inspiring theme for one of my next talks, for sure. And definitely, it would be nice to maybe we could do a study circle on that.
Yes.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
We'd all interact differently. I think definitely if somebody would be crying, I'd probably faint.
Yeah.
To be honest. Uncle Morgan, and to close, in your own words, how would you describe your Sai in 100 years of Sai?
I've got a lot of experience. I'm going to start with the 1993. You know, my nephew passed on tragically. And we said we're going to, my sister's son that was, we bought a lot of things to go and, to go and give my sister. And my car was parked inside. My daughter Cheryl's car was parked at the back. She had a Fox. And we said no. She told me, look, Dad, we'll take all this thing, we'll drop it off and come. I said, no. Put all the thing in my car. This is Swami's work now. So she transferred everything into my car. We had to, switch the cars off. I said, in the morning, I don't have a problem with you. I'm going early, I want to go. We went. And after doing this, after spending time there, on our way back, it was a very slight drizzle. I came into the car, and this is a normal thing that happens to all their families. When they say goodbye, you'll sit in the car, they will wait there. I sat in the car, waiting for them. This is definitely Swami's doing. Because normally my habit is, I must open the car, allow Pumali to go in, and Cheryl would have sat behind it, then I would have came. I'm sitting there because of rain. When Cheryl came, I just opened the door this way. She sat right behind me, and Pumali sat, I opened the door, she came in the front. On our way back, I was stopped at a robo, and all her head was a bang. And it was serious. What happened here was, the impact was so heavy, I had no seat. My seat broke. And Pumani, that end of it was pushed right in, and she was there by the dashboard. And Cheryl was unconscious. She was right behind me with all the glass piece. She was unconscious. And I heard this fellow, it was a taxi, I believe. I heard the fellow, normal thing. Hey, I don't know how to drive. What is happening? Big noise are coming. And fortunately, I was okay. I thought I was open the door, came out. Such a big noise. The fellows were running from there, quite far. The taxi was parked. They're running towards me. I don't know what they would have done. And suddenly, army trucks come. The army full of a truck with full army guys. They come and park right there. Who sent them? You see, Swami sent them. The fact that I came early, Cheryl sat behind me. If she was on that end, I don't think she would believe it. The impact was so heavy. So I think it's all Swami. And why did I change that car? That part of the time. Swami has a simple thing. You say your car in the back, we'll deliver thing, you come back, finish. But I had to change it. So I believe it was so definitely Swami's grace. He planned it this way. You go in a bigger car, you don't go in a small car. That is Swami's grace.
Sometimes I think we don't also look at the impact that Swami had in that moment. Maybe a day later, a week later, a month later, maybe some years later, then you look back and you look and see how things have progressed. Then you're like, wow, Swami actually had a hand in that. Eh?
Swami definitely is there. If you got time, I might as well tell you. In 2007, I had a slight problem with the back. The doctors referred it to a specialist. I said, okay, right, we'll go to the specialist. The fellow says, just about 15 minutes, And I said, hey, I'm okay. I don't need anybody to take me to the hospital. I drove my car. I went and parked it right by a shade in Tibini Hospital. I went there. And the next thing, I don't know what happened. I went and I gave them all the information, right, waiting for the doctor. He said, use the word, I'll just maneuver, it'll be finished. I don't know what happened. Next thing, I'm hearing now. They phoned and I was in the ventilator. Something went wrong with the ventilator. And I must tell you, according to what Pumani says, I think about 2 days I was there in the ventilator. The Hillside Sai Center decided to have a prayer for me. Okay. They started the prayer at 7 o'clock. And at 7 I came out of the ventilator. That is Swami's grace.
Swami's grace.
Definitely, your prayer gets answered. Definitely your prayer is answered.
I think also it's also the grace Swami had the devotees at Hillside were praying. So Uncle Morgan, how would you describe your Sai in 100 Years of Sai?
Pardon?
How would you describe your Sai in 100 Years of Sai, to sum it up? What does Swami mean to you?
Well, this is one of the things. He saved me. I'm here to talk to you out of it gone. And look at that. What happened in 2010? In 2010, we were selected, or we volunteered to go on the South African pilgrimage. Okay. These are the things here. And they issued this to us, right? While we were here, we had to go for rehearsals. UDW had it about 3 times.
Okay.
And ICC had it. They had to be perfect. We took the Ubuntu.
Yes.
We
so
were
you were
there.
Involved in Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. And, this is sealed. It was sealed. And this is sealed. And suddenly come, only finds ash. Everybody is curious. Hey, what happened? You got ash. I said, hey, you fortunate man. Swami likes you. Well, Swami didn't give me anything yet. And after a few days, mine was with ash. Both of them had ash. This is sealed. We said, well, this is all Swami's grace. Come back home 2010. You can come right now home. We had a frame that is sealed, Swami's feet. And when we came back 2010, Fumani, when she was doing a prayer, she noticed it. She called me and said, look at this frame is full of ash. And then up to today, that ash is there. That is all Swami's grace.
Swami's grace, always. Uncle Morgan, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure there's plenty more Leelas that you could share, but obviously we still need to keep some for future episodes as well, right? Thank you for taking us through your remarkable journey and your vision. I mean, Uncle Morgan, your decades of dedication, your wisdom, and the blessings you've received remind us that Swami's presence is not just something we read about. It's something we can feel, live, and share every day. May your words inspire us all to keep Swami's light shining bright for the next 100 years and beyond. Thank you so much for joining us, Uncle Morgan.
Thank you for having me.
Jai Sai Ram.